But don't you worry. Daddy's home.
I'm finally back. Yes. Whoa. I'm ready to celebrate. We got the party poppers. Guys? Oh yeah, I'm finally back from my week break from this channel because I was, summer started, so I was taking a break, I wanted to relax for a bit, okay? Sue me. Now I'm back, and today we're going to be doing a review of Thebatman, which I recently watched over the 1 week break that I was doing. And I'm also going to be reviewing The Boys soon, probably, because I've also been watching that and I've really been enjoying it. So yeah, let's get into this review of Thebatman as our first welcome back video after 2 weeks of no videos. So Thebatman is the latest film starring Zoe Kravitz. There's other characters there, but I could never pay attention because Zoe Kravitz. Oh wait, hold on. Are we not allowed to like her anymore? Is she canceled? Anyway, Zoe Kravitz is in this film. That's great, but let's actually focus on the film itself. So Edward Cullen comes back from the dead and he's now a vampire again. Robert Pattinson as Batman was actually surprisingly good. He did a pretty good job, I would say. He does a pretty good job as Batman, and his costume is not too bad. Not my favorite costume of Batman, but an alright costume, and god, that jawline. If I had a chin that big, I would also have my mask wide open. Even though it's completely impractical, I would still do it. So the basic plot of the Batman is fighting this incel here, like every other single Batman story where it's just two incels battling it out, where it's Bruce Wayne, the incel doomer, versus the Riddler, the soy jack incel doomer. And I'm for one glad the Riddler is the main villain of this film for once instead of the Joker. I'm so tired of having the Joker be as Batman's main villain. Like, he has such a great rogues gallery, and I'm so glad they finally decided to use someone apart from the Joker, because the Riddler in this movie is surprisingly well done. Paul Dano portrays such a great Riddler. Like, he's actually unsettling. Though it's kind of funny to see the Riddler be portrayed as this like bumbling idiot that is wearing like a bowler hat and question mark suit. This Riddler is actually legitimately terrifying compared to his other incarnations where he's just the goofy, silly idiot that likes to make people guess riddles for fun. And I would say for most of the characters in this film, the casting choices are pretty good. Like, Robert Pattinson is a great Batman. Like I've said, he's definitely taken up the mantle from Christian Bale and Ben Affleck really well. He's done great with his incarnation of Batman. However, I'm still excited to see what they do with the next film with how he portrays Bruce Wayne more, which I believe is what they're planning to do, because this film is more centered around how Batman learns to become a hero, and then the next film they can focus more on the Bruce Wayne aspect of it, which I actually really like because it felt like a comic book where there's not much focus on Bruce Wayne. It's mostly like The Long Halloween or The Killing Joke, where it's just one long take of the night and it's just Batman figuring out these events that happen in occurrence to solve this one crime and defeat this one villain. It felt like a Batman comic book or like one of the Arkham games. And the rest of the characters are also pretty good. Zoe Kravitz, as I said, God bless her soul and her face. She portrays a really nice Catwoman, better than any other portrayal of Catwoman, keep in mind, so the bar wasn't very high in the first place. Yeah, but other than that, doesn't really get much time to shine. Her character arc in the story is alright, I guess. I mean, she's not really the focal point, which she's not the main character, but she should have been. The only actor that I would say that I did not like as a casting choice was Andy Serkis as Alfred. And that's mostly because when I picture Alfred, I kind of picture someone that's much older than Bruce. And I understand this is only year 2 Batman, so Bruce is not that old. My mental image of him is that Alfred is a lot older than Bruce in age-wise. And Andy Serkis just kind of look gruff and young, like he looks like the star of an action film. But I guess that would be my only complaint. James Gordon, Jeffrey Wright, he was great. Colin Farrell as the Penguin was amazing. I couldn't even tell that it was Colin Farrell. Like, he didn't even look like it at all. Now, the Batman is a relatively long movie. It's 3 hours long, and I do believe that 3 hours is a bit excessive for the movie. I felt like it could have been cut down to 2 hours 30 minutes. There's some scenes that just linger on for no reason, and I'm just like, why is this scene in the movie? It doesn't really need to be here. Do we seriously need a scene of Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz staring into each other's eyes like this? Like, was this really necessary? Did we need this? Like, God, I wish that was me. But overall, the story for the Batman was actually really great. I actually enjoyed the arc that Bruce goes through in the film with the entire vengeance plotline, in him learning from using fear to becoming a symbol of hope and becoming a real hero, rather than just being like some scary man in a bad suit walking in the shadows with Nirvana playing in the background, He actually feels like a superhero at the end of the film, which is great. And I've also heard a lot of complaints from people saying that there wasn't enough Bruce Wayne in this film, but I think that was the point. The point was that Bruce wasn't really healed from his wounds from his parents' death, and so he's doing the only thing that he knows how to do, which is vengeance upon the people that he believes are the criminals, and he neglects his other life as Bruce Wayne. But towards the end of the film, he kind of learns to become more than just vengeance, an emo dude in the shadows. My hope for the next film is that the next film's villain is not the Joker. The Joker's a great villain, but for God's sakes, just use someone else, please. Like Two-Face would be a great villain for next film. Like, if we're gonna go into the whole Bruce Wayne thing, we could have Harvey Dent come in and that could be a conflict of interest for Batman. Or we could have, you know, the Penguin set up in this film. Have anyone else other than the Joker. We could have Ra's al Ghul, we could have Bane, we could have the Court of Owls, literally anybody but the Joker, please, for God's sakes. I love the Joker as much as the next incel, but please just make the film about any other villain. So yeah, overall the Batman was a pretty good experience, a bit long, but overall the story for the Batman was great. Robert Pattinson's performance was great. The soundtrack, God, the soundtrack was amazing. Like, I was listening to the soundtrack while I was sleeping and I could feel the emo surging through me. Overall the film was pretty good. Long but good. Performances were great, especially Paul Dano's as the Riddler and Zoe Kravitz. Not her acting, just her face. So yeah, that's gonna be my review of the Batman. 8 out of 10 movie. Go watch it. Thanks for watching. See ya.